Hi everyone, this is Dr. Vijay Prakash, and we are here in the very first episode of Millionaire Advisory Board. And I have with me Kashyap, who is the founder of 10 Crore Club. I have known Kashyap from a couple of years, and I have seen him building this 10 Crore Club. But we are going to go deep today, and I'm going to ask questions that what made him start 10 Crore Club and what has been his journey. So over to you, Kashyap,
Thank
and
you so
I'm
much.
super excited to kind of interview you in this particular episode.
Yes, thank you so much. It's such an honor to talk about the message of 10 Crore Club. It is a dream of a lot of entrepreneurs to hit this 10 crore mark. And I'm going to tell all the things that we have done to bring the 10 Crore Club to the level that is at right now. And it is helping a lot of founders, big and small. And I'm going to tell all the details about how this works. And also in this podcast, we're going to also understand how to choose the right mentor and what it takes to build a successful business.
So let me stop you here and ask you an interesting question. And my question is, why name not 1 crore club, 100 crore club, 1000 crore club? Why this 10 crore club?
So I'm a big follower of Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson in 2018, he launched an award called Two Comma Club. Two Comma Club is $1 million club in USA. So that was an inspirational thought, and I thought, why not a 10 crore club? So that was the initial process because it's a dream for everyone to become a millionaire. And in India, what is the closest number that comes to the number of a millionaire is 10 crore, right? 10 crore and 10 crore club. And it was really funny how we actually did all this in a very, very fast pace. So this was in 2019 when we were meeting a lot of startups. Every day we would meet 8 to 10 startups. And then we realized that this many startups are not getting the right mentoring. They are not getting the right context to build their business. Of course, I had been to a lot of other networking platforms, and then that's where I was talking to my then co-founder. I told him, why not we start a platform where a lot of founders can come and network and help each other grow. That was a simple example thought we had. So this was on a Tuesday evening. I was doing research and I searched. Okay, I had always this thought, two comma club. I always wanted to be part of the two comma club, and so
And
I searched for.
which year was this?
This was in 2019. This was in 2019 around May or June that time. So I went and searched on GoDaddy 10croreclub.com. I searched and I had this domain. Wow, I thought, wow, fantastic, good name. And I told my co-founder on Wednesday evening that, hey, we should do this. It's a mastermind. And what is a mastermind? By the way, before doing this 10 Crore Club events, I had never done any kind of physical meetups at all. So now, long story short, I read this book called Meet and Grow Rich that gave us the formula about running a mastermind community. So the 10 Crore Club and the mastermind community, the Meet and Grow Rich book gave me the formula to conduct mastermind sessions. So I told this to my co-founder. I said, let us do it. Let us do it this weekend itself. So Saturday, we had all these founders of Renew coming. We called them. There is a meeting coming up on Saturday. So the we just started off, and it has not stopped since that time, basically.
Interesting. So, one thing what I want to know, people who started this journey with you, it's been almost 6 years. Are they still with you or where are they? And what has been your challenges in this journey? I'm sure our audience will be interested to know that.
Yes, in 2019, we had a different co-founder system, co-founders, and we had a wonderful number of people joining us. We had every type of person, a startup, a big founder, everyone was there. And now, do we still have them? Yes, few of them like you who are still we are still associated with. But what happened is during this time we had something called COVID, which actually brought a lot of challenges for us. It really stopped our momentum. We were rapidly scaling. We won award, we won a lot of recognitions, and then everything stopped. So I'm going to talk about that in detail about how we have come back to build this ecosystem back from scratch, literally.
Interesting, interesting. And when you say Millionaire Advisory Board, what are some of the things which you do here and what are some of the activities which you do here?
Yes. So as a startup, as an employee, because I was myself an employee, and as a startup, what we are looking for is an access to an investor, mentoring by someone who has been there and done that. And as a startup previously myself, which I had to shut down because I was working on this elderly elderly care SOS watch, and I could not get right ecosystem, right mentoring, right support system. And I believe I have wasted time and money because I did not get the right guidance. And looking back, I believe if I had the right support system, the right people mentoring me, I would have definitely cut short my time. So, what is this Millionaire Advisory Board? So, Millionaire Advisory Board is board of advisors. Today we have ChatGPT. We can actually go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, "Hey, talk to me as if you are Steve Jobs. So talk to me as if you're a some big person and advise me," isn't it? Now that was my thought process. If I had a board of millionaires advising me about my growth, I will also become a millionaire. It comes back to the same that thought, isn't it? You're the average of five people you spend most time with. If you hang out with millionaires, you also will become a millionaire. But the problem here is, I want to go and meet these millionaires, but where are these millionaires? Should I go to golf club? Should I go to some expensive places where I'm not allowed? So it was absolutely not possible for me to figure out where these millionaires are. It is good to think that I want to hang out with millionaires, but where are they actually, so that I can network with them? That was a big problem I had. So that's where I got a big breakthrough when I was called to this exclusive meetup of millionaires by one of a top millionaire. He said, "Kashyap, come, I'll take you to a room." So this was near Vidhan Sauda, near to the political place. It's a hotel, and we all assembled in that ground floor. That's where a lot of these millionaires were coming. All these people were making at least 200 crores, 300 crores, 400 crores. And look at me, I'm a startup. I have no money in my pocket, and I'm going and hanging out with these people. What deal can I even talk to them? What can I even? Because they're talking about I'll invest 100 crores, 200 crores. So I realized that this is all about energy. If you are in that energy, your mind expands. If you are there, your belief systems change. And that's when I made a decision that I also want to have a community of millionaires. And that was my inspiration to set up this whole 10 crore club, to hang out with 10 crore club plus people. And that's what this 10 crore club is: a community of people who are on the both the sides, who are people who have done crack already this 10 crore plus, and also people who are about to get there as well. That's where that's where we are able to like create that ecosystem. Now today, when someone wants to hang out with a millionaire, we are the right community. And throughout India, who's the truest $1 million community? We are the true millionaire community. Because if you come and hang out with millionaires, what is going to happen to a startup or a employee is you get inspiration, you can get connections, and contracts can happen. That's what we are very proud about, that I have accomplished my mission of creating this ecosystem to help people like me who were startups to hang out with millionaires. And I was and surprised that millionaires also like to mentor. They want to help people who are coming up in their ladder. So we have this system where we help the millionaires meet these startups. At the same time, we have a pure community called Elite Edge, which is a pure community. Only if you are qualified to come there, you're already only invited to be part of that community. So there, millionaires are also getting access to top quality people similar to them. That's what makes this whole ecosystem so unique.
So my next question is, you have worked with a lot of founders, right? And this is where my question is, what are some of the beliefs which are holding back from taking them to 10 crore level or 10 crore mark? I mean, what are some of the traits they should have, how they should be thinking? And I know that there is a very, very interesting thing which you say is don't start up. So I want you to talk about that. What should be the mindset of these founders and how they should be thinking? What is that one belief or maybe two belief they should have when they are building this startup?
So I've seen a lot of these startups and people who want to get into this 10 crore mark. I've seen these people struggle with the belief that I'm not good enough, that I don't have enough capital resources to go to the next level. Only these rich people build these big businesses. So while that belief might be partly true, but mostly it is about how you think about the opportunity. It is not true that it requires years and years of struggle, because we might have seen our parents struggle in jobs working for like 20, 30 years time, and then accumulate that capital of 1 crore, 2 crores, and then they buy the home. So we have seen that in our own experience, but that may not be true in today's world, because you don't need to spend so much time. Business need not take so much time. When you are planning to run a business, it need not take so much time to build, as I said. So the belief system is fortunes can be built in a matter of 1 year time, 2 years time. All it requires is the right kind of approach and the system. The traits I have seen in these millionaires who have built massive wealth is they are amazing networkers. They don't hold back. They are not waiting for someone to approach. They are the first people to go out and expose themselves. But typically when it comes to networking, we're afraid, because as where our reptilian brain is afraid of approaching new people. So these people I have seen, they have mastered that art of going out of their comfort zone and meeting people. It doesn't matter, because typically as founders we are exposed to these rejections. These founders I've seen, the traits I've seen from these top millionaires is they don't think about the past rejection. It is like Virendra Sehwag. He doesn't think about the previous ball. He is going after the next delivery, isn't it? Like that. That mindset is what I've seen. That going out and meeting people is what I've seen these millionaires have. And when I say about don't start up, did you know that 95, not I think not even 90, 95%, 99% of startups fail. So when you know for a fact that these startups fail, why would you want to take up a risk of starting up, isn't it? Like, for example, if someone says when you are going through this jungle, there is a high chance, 99% chance that you might be eaten by a tiger. You would not take that route, isn't it? Why do you want to do that when it comes to startups? Now, people don't say, then what else can we do about this, Kashyap? So my point is, you don't need to start up. What you can do is you can joint venture, partner, and copy. As a startup, when you already know that it is tough to survive, what we can start doing is, if you're an employee, start being an intern in some company or a startup which something is doing well. Learn the art, develop some things, and then you can probably start copying what was going on. That's what I would do, and that's what I mean, right? If you've seen, right, a lot of these people, like even Ambani and all these people, they were not very much educated. They knew how to build the business. So that's what I talk about in my upcoming book called The Tech Dummy Entrepreneur. You don't need to be a techie. You don't need to know everything. Also, I've seen startups tend to get stuck in the development of the product, because these people typically come from this academic background, go for a job, are an engineer, and then they come out as inventors. They think that I have to invent something as a startup. I have to be very, very unique, and then I can succeed. It's absolutely wrong thinking at all, completely. What really matters is business. What really matters is money. Does this idea make money or not? And therefore, I say people should not start up, because you need not be the first person innovating starting from something from scratch, because your time is limited. What I suggest is starting with, we must focus on money making, focus on what creates money. Once you have momentum, then you can start innovating and creating R&D and creating new products. That's what even these big companies do, isn't it? They innovate and bring new products as we grow. That's what I mean by don't start up, copy existing thing. Don't be the first person getting into the battle. Nobody said that. There is no one who is awarding you for being an inventor. Inventors die poor. We don't want to be inventors. We want to be money makers. That's what this Crore Club is about. Our time is limited, and we all are aware, right? We have seen what happened with the Air India 787 aircraft. Happy people, 90 seconds, they're no more there. It's just like that. And it's not only them. Anything can happen to any one of us. Now, if that is a fact of life, it becomes our duty, responsibility, and obligation to accomplish our wealth goals at the highest speed, at giving our bestest. And that's what is 10x all about, giving our 10 times energy.
Absolutely. And I would want to talk about 10x partnership, which we just had, and we did our event, and more events are going to come in the future. So what was most exciting thing for me was this 10 Crore Club brand, right? And anytime when you build that kind of a brand with a vision and a mission to help people not only connect with the millionaires, but also give them a platform for collaboration. Now we see that we have a lot of collaboration coming in, we have a lot of sponsorship coming in, and in a way it's a very, very unique model which we have developed. And I'm sure we are talking about from 10x to 100x. This is something which is surely going to happen, and we should be able to help more than million entrepreneurs through this particular program. Because the challenge what I see is, in recent times you would have seen such a huge financial collapse of the company who were kind of valued at billions of dollars. So what went wrong? One is, at a very, very fundamental level, the accounting of the company has a problem. And this happens because initial days, these founders don't understand that their personal finances or company's finances got to be different. So it is very, very important for CXO level people to really manage their personal finance well. And at the same time, they have to segregate this company finance, because most of the time when I talk to founder and when I talk about their personal finances, what they tell me is, oh, my CA knows it. And this is a very, very alarming kind of an answer to me when they say, I know about my company and my CA takes care of it. So it is very much expected from CXO level or CEO level people that they understand what is happening to their personal finances. And of course, there are different things for the wealth building. And are you taking the leverage of all the instruments which are available? And that is what we cover in our 10x wealth program. One of the things which we cover in our 10x wealth program, that how do you structure your wealth so that your personal finance is not messed up, and at the same time what you are doing with the company and what you're doing for yourself is very, very different. And your business is also generating money for you, because initial days, most of the time people, when they start, they put money only from their pocket, right? And as you said rightly, out of 10 business, if 9 business fit, that means is what savings or the money what they are putting from their pocket, that is also going to go.
Yeah, and that's what we talk about, right? Why people should not start up. That's what I mean. I have done that mistake, Vijay, of putting my own money and realizing that my money is limited. That's what, isn't it? Like, if you really understand the real way of building business, you will not put a single rupee of your own money into building your business. Today, it isn't it, Vijay? People put money behind our growth. How fantastic it is! It is not about us. It is about every one of us. If you really understand how real business works,
I mean, I'll put it other way around, that people are putting money for the growth of a 10 crore club, which is going to benefit everyone in coming days. Every member who is associating with us, everybody who is coming in. It is for sure that the way we have this unique model is it's been funded by people, right?
and that's what makes this whole ecosystem very strong, isn't it, Vijay? It is not about an individual. So this is not like the Kashyap Karnala community. This is not about that. It is about, that's what my desire is, Vijay, as well. That, see how much we want, what we can eat money, we eat how much we can eat food. We have our basic desires, and beyond that, what it is about, isn't it? So my vision for the 10 Crore Club is to leave behind a legacy where quality networking can happen. Like, it is not random networking. We want to really hang out with the right kind of people, because we remember our time is limited. Time is our biggest capital, and we must invest our time in the right place. And that's what we are creating, this ecosystem where the right kind of people are meeting with the right kind of people, so that right deals can happen at the right speed, not at 1x speed, not wait for 1 year time, 2 years time to get my first deal. I don't want to be in that lethargy zone, because because there are a lot of people who do that, but I don't want to associate myself with such people. I want to go for the high speed, because I know my time is limited, because I know that I have to accomplish a lot many more things for me and my family, and also for the society at the big level as well.
So let me ask you this question. People always talk about what is your vision, what is your mission. So if I see next 5 years, where do you see 10 crore club? What are your mission or vision for 10 crore club in next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, you see the way it is going right now. So of course, right now, at the moment of this recording, we are based out of Bangalore, and there is so much demand from multiple cities that, hey, we would like to also start there as well. Of course, 100% in next 5 years time, I see the 10 Crore Club is operating in all the cities, and what I believe in is education. It is not only about, see, we want to bring quality financial education. I myself, I went to MBA. I thought MBA is going to give me a lot of information to like build a successful business. No, financial education is very important. So we want to be a platform where we give the right kind of information, right kind of education that can give people. See, end of the day, we are the 10 crore club. We want to do everything in our community to help people earn that 10 crore. If something is not any activity, any project we take up, if it is not going to help our end customer to earn money, we will not want to take it up. Now, that's what my vision is, that we want to be goal oriented for the community. We want to help our members to utilize every drop of their blood, every moment they have towards earning money, because finances can change lives. If my whole vision again is to bring wealth and bring much more employment, because there is so much of wealth waiting to be to get deployed in India. It can be FDI, it can be from a lot of investors. If we are organizing ourselves, if we are organizing our businesses with the right kind of ecosystem, there is so much of investment that can be attracted, and that creates a lot of jobs, a lot of prosperity. Today, look at this, because of Infosys and because of this IT revolution, Bangalore has become that job capital for India, isn't it? Similarly, I think the 10 Crore Club has a potential of bringing this quality founders together, creating synergies, and we can create joint ventures, M&A transactions, investments. So much of synergy can happen when we come together, not acting alone. As a team, we can unlock so much of potential which is waiting to get unlocked in a few years.
All right. So tell me, in this journey, was there a moment came where you thought, let me give up? And then what happened that you started the second innings?
Yeah. So this was in October 2020. I lost my dad. My personal finance was a mess. I had my personal life was a mess. Everything was dark. Everything was dark. It was very easy for me to like give up this so-called 10 crore club, because people who have seen that before, it's so painful to see that there is nothing going on in the club in October of 2020, and co-founders leaving. It's a very dark space, very lonely place. Easy to give up at that point. Try something else, do some software, whatever that comes to our mind, right? What all we're trying, as during our sit at home times at COVID. But I realized the value. I remember those eyes people, when we were running these events in when before the pandemic. I remember the inspiration people were feeling because they were able to get right inspiration, right connections, and that changed their life. And that is something I understand the power of 10 crore club, the dream of 10 crore club, the quest to get to the 10 crore mark. And I wanted to make sure that I can deliver to many founders, to make sure that I can help them accomplish their goal of getting 10 crores, 100 crores, 200 crores. That is something which did not let me sleep. So we were, as I said in the beginning, if there is a continuous desire to like, it's a, the when the time, the idea, when the right time comes for an idea, nobody can stop that idea, isn't it? Now that I felt that in my heart, that this idea is something that I cannot hold it. It's like it cannot be held back. It will definitely take up itself. Like how it is taking innovations and creating new opportunities. Like for example, now we are associated with Dr. Vijay with 10x Wealth, the same mission of accomplishing and helping founders and employees make better decisions. That's what this platform is all about, and that's what makes us really happy to tell you that this is something that we're really bringing the real millionaires. A lot of people talk about think and grow rich, millionaire mind, whatnot, isn't it? I have been there. I was disappointed. It is so inspiring and motivating. But when you come back home, but you said, it was all good. But where are these millionaires? That's not going to happen here. We are really the real $1 million community. That's what we're delivering.
No, absolutely. I'm totally in sync with you. And we have been to so many trainings together. But what I personally feel is that, okay, you take the knowledge from there, but where is the platform to really test it, right? So you can talk about this courses on how to build $1 million mind and whatnot, think and grow rich. But when
And
it comes
yeah.
of a real business, right? And then, of course, the networking part, as you said, when it comes to real business, what I personally feel is this is what is a real community where real millionaires hang around.
Yes, yes.
So next thing is what I want to ask you is you keep meeting great founders, right? I know that you have your weekly schedule where you will ensure that your calendars are booked and at least you will be meeting 2, 3 millionaires in a week. So what I want to know is when you meet such people, what are some of the quality which you see which can help the founders who are stuck? Because there are people who start this startup, out of 10 companies, that one company becomes successful and 9 don't become successful. So that is what I want to know. What are those characteristics which separates this one company which becomes a unicorn?
So what separates these high performing companies compared to the rest of the companies is they have systems. They know what is a system, how to create a systems driven business. All of us kind of know about it. Like a lot of people speak about systems, but these people have actually created systems. They are continuously working on creating systems in the business, working on improvising. So I've seen the trait of systems getting built, and they are using tools to track performance. A lot of these companies who are struggling or who are stuck at a certain level, they don't know what are their numbers. All the numbers they only know about is my revenue, my profit, my cost. They know only these big type of numbers. These companies that I've seen have seen massive growth. They know everything that is happening in the business. They know how to number the performance, because only when you can measure what is going on in the business can you improve. So I've seen this is a systems driven thing is one, and second thing is they are masters at managing capital. They know how to leverage others capital, because as entrepreneurs we are all limited with amount of capital we have, isn't it? Now what these people have seen is they know how to access external capital to use for their growth, and when to bring it is also important, and where to bring it from also is important, because not every investor is right. So they know how to tap into the experts. They know how to use resources, in the sense they know who to talk to, what expert they go and talk to, and they're very good at hiring. They simply don't let everyone and join the company. If my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, they don't let anyone come because they are family and friends. They know how to spot the right talent, because it's a machine. They know how to put the right player. It's like in cricket, right? The right person needs to be the right thing. If it is an opener, he must do the right opening job, and if he is a finisher, he must do the right finishing job. They know how to identify these traits in employees and plug them into the right space in their systems driven business. That's what I've seen that creates a business which actually takes off into $1 billion enterprise. I have observed, when I would go, I had this feeling that, who am I to go and meet these people? I had this low self-esteem to even talk to them. I was that kind of a person. So what I realized in this process is the really accomplished multimillionaires. We're talking about like who have built like big revenue with VC funding or without VC funding. We're talking about both the types of people. What I observed as a common trait among these people is they are very humble, very approachable. You will not see, we may have seen these people in all these your stories and all these news channels, etc., but they're very down to earth. So the trait of a multimillionaire that I've observed is they are how do I say, they don't behave as if they are rich. There is still learning, that is they're still they will tell you that they are in a process of going to the next level. There is no arrogance about it. On the other side, what I've seen, people who are in the journey of going there, is there's so much of ego about it. I'm already big, I'm already someone. So I've seen that it's a transformation journey to become a millionaire, isn't it? It's a personal growth journey, and I've seen these people are very humble. Also, nobody can become so big unless they are very approachable. Nobody can run big companies if they are so arrogant also. Of course, we hear the stories of Steve Jobs, so he was so arrogant. I mean, of course, there are one or two exceptions, but 99.9% of people I've met are very, very down to earth. They are the first people who will come and really talk to you. Very nice people. Very, very nice people.
I agree. So I think there are two major quality which I see. As you said, one is the humbleness, right? No matter what, where you are, but you have that inquisitiveness of always learning. That is one. And another message we want to give to the founder is the integrity. Recently, I was watching this something called as a Bad Boy Billionaire, and we have recently seen the podcast being done to clear the image and things like that. But I think integrity plays a very, very important role for anybody. And whole life, maybe you project a different image altogether. And at the end of the life, what we have seen in the case of Sahara, right? Because the integrity was not there in the place. Whole life, people thought that integrity is in the place, but at the end, everything collapsed. Same thing we have seen in the case of big guys like Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi, Harshad Mehta. So I think integrity is something which has to be the foundation. I think that's what is one of the foundation. And
Absolutely.
the humbleness, as you said it rightly, the inquisitiveness to learn more, not thinking that we are big shots. And we talk about the systems and structure as well for a company, right, which they don't understand. And of course, as I said, not messing with the company finances
Yeah.
versus the
And
personal
and
finances,
also,
because
also there is nothing called a perfect company. I mean, we think they are already accomplished, and they're also, they understand things are not well enough. They're the first people to acknowledge that we're still in the growth phase.
and I think I have something very, very interesting which I was discussing with one of my friend, and latest development of this Disney case, which is with the Mid Journey, right? So although we see that this AI is ever evolving and it is a growing sector, and then suddenly you get a setback that the Mid Journey has been sued. So as you said it rightly, there is nothing called as a perfect company and there is nothing called as a perfect industry, because you remember earlier the growth of the company was like a linear. That you have started a company, it is going to take 15 to 20 years for you to succeed. If I talk about 2 decades back or 3 decades back, that is how the businesses were. But today you could start a company this month, you could become a $1 billion valuation in 2 3 months also, which is possible. You can build a company like WhatsApp with just 19 20 people and still go at a valuation of 50 billion. So all those things were not possible 2 decades back, and so is the disruption. Maybe you are running a company from 100 years and
Yeah.
a disruptor comes and a technology changes and you are gone.
Yeah, and that's what I think. It's a good point you're saying. So I have an example. There is a founder I know from my network. This person, it's kind of crazy, like how money was raised for nothing, literally for nothing. This person raised $200 million, and there was no value in the business. It collapsed overnight. So fundamentals are very, very important. It is not about how much money. It is not about, see, for sure, you are not a good founder because you raised money. You're not special because you raise money. I really respect people who actually sustain that money and grow. I really respect people who actually grow without taking money support as well. I really respect, because taking money is one part. It is good. I'm not saying it is wrong, but people who build without money, like there are a lot of examples. Zoho is there. We have Zerodha. A lot of people, they because to build such a fantastic business, which is $1 billion company, they know what it takes to build the foundations, fundamentals about marketing and sales. These are real masters. That's what I think we should take inspiration from. You know, because talking about integrity, right? Raising money and taking the investors on a ride and just running away, you're not going to go anywhere. I mean,
No,
where are you going?
absolutely, absolutely. Even when we see this VC funding thing, and now these screws are more tightened as we progress, because we have seen in the past that people used to come with the idea and they used to raise the fund. No more that thing is happening too much until unless somebody comes up with a really, really very life changing kind of an idea and people have really conviction, they make the money. But now these VCs have started to ask about the numbers, that what is that your numbers, how you have been doing from 8 quarter and things like that. So those things are definitely there. Now, to your point, I want to add something very, very interesting and controversial. If you see this stock market, because I come from the wealth background, so I cannot stop myself talking about it. So how do you make money in stock market? Is one is, of course, when stock prices go up. Two, when you hold a stock and the split or bonuses come and your quantity multiplies, and then of course you hold it for long term, you make money. Then also there is something called as a dividend, which is paid to you, and this is how you make money. But if you really think that the company which is paying dividend to its people in crores, that means you are letting that fund go out because you want to give it to your shareholders. But typically, if you think that money should be utilized for the development of the company. So we say this, that the companies who pay dividend, they actually don't know how to use that money what they have. That's why they pay out to their shareholders, right? That can be used in a innovation, that can be used in a merger and acquisition, hiring something. So you said it very rightly that you raise the fund, but what will you do with that fund, right? Because it at one point of time it had become a hobby of raising the fund. Okay, so raising the fund is nothing but you are borrowing. But then do you really have a plan in place that what is you're going to do with that money, and how will you 2x or 10x or 100x? Because end of the day, VCs are going to come back to you and ask for the return on their investment.
Absolutely, 100% return on investment. When people think that, okay, it is free money and not going to return, no, you are investing your credibility. If you are, because I mean, I know a lot of people hop from one startup to another startup. It is very few people who can actually hop to the second startup. So what you're actually investing is your credibility and trust. It's very important to therefore build your business with strong fundamentals. So one pro tip here is, if you are a startup, I think a lot of businesses don't understand the power of M&A, the mergers and acquisitions. That's what we're about. The whole community, we talk about how do you prepare your business become acquisition ready. Because if we are becoming
so hold on, I will stop you here. And what I want to know from you is, you have something very, very interesting for people who are either starting a business or already building a business at some stage. There is a program called as a GAP, Growth Accelerator Program, right? And I think this M&A idea is coming from there, because I have been one of the participants of that GAP program. So one thing which I know that you always say is think of exit. Think of exit. So I really want you to let our viewers know, when you say think of exit, it is again a controversial thing when you say exit. And what do you mean by that? And then I want you to talk about this M&A angle of how they can use this angle and they become big.
Yeah. So see, let us understand the whole cycle of entrepreneur becoming a founder, like employee becoming a founder, right? Employee is a techie becomes a founder. He's a tech person who becomes a founder. And typically our school system has taught us that you should do everything on your own. You should not depend on anyone else and do everything. So basically the founders are building everything as if my idea is everything and nobody else should copy my idea. And what they're waiting for is, because my idea is so good, I'm going to automatically attract investors and I'm going to become rich. That is not going to happen. Ideas don't matter at all. What really matters is your ability to convince an investor about how he can exit from the investment. And that can only happen when you become acquisition ready. So that means you yourself must be ready to let go of your idea. A lot of times there's so much of attachment about this idea that, oh, no, I can become $1 billion company. So once you become, what I mean by when you become acquisition ready is you're also becoming investment ready. Even look at Flipkart and these Bunsels, right? They exited from their business. Flipkart, they sold their equity. They had, when they were exiting the company, they had only 5%. That means they were always getting exit ready. So when you become acquisition ready, at the end, Walmart acquired Flipkart, isn't it? So they were preparing somewhere. The investors were preparing for an exit from the day number one itself. Therefore, because there was an idea that a Flipkart could be acquired by an Amazon or a Walmart, there was an increasing valuation and increasing interest of investors to put money behind that. So the whole idea is, if you are clear about the end goal, about who might be my future investor or a buyer, then you have solved 50% of your investment problems. On the contrary, you come and pitch to an investor that, hey, give me your money, I'm going to become big. It's absolutely 99% you're not going to get the money. But if you tell them that, look, acquired by that company. Would you like to be a part of it right now? Don't you think that will be like a better conversation to have?
Right. But there is also something which comes to my mind, and maybe we can discuss more deep. So, what happens is when you start something, and I got a chance to meet Aman Gupta, and he was saying this thing that if you see the size of the boat today, we never thought we will become this big. So, a lot of times, what happens is that our dreams are small. All right. So, when your dream is small and you really don't know where you can go, that is the time you have to make that dream big. Example, Google. They went to Yahoo to acquire them, and Yahoo refused. So, taking this exit route or what M&A you are talking about, that is, don't you think that is also an opportunity loss if I have a potential to kind of become big?
Yeah, absolutely. The whole secret people don't realize is by exiting, you actually make more money by growing the business than by growing the business. By exiting, you can compound. It's about compounding. You get see today the whole point is today's cash is more valuable than tomorrow's value because tomorrow the company may die, but your today's cash is always secure. So if people have that clarity that I should exit at the first opportunity, you will be doing fantastic decision right now. You'll be really proud of it because I know today there are a lot of people who come to me and say, "Hey, I would like to exit. I'm kind of tired. I'm old, but there is no buyer." What happens? You're going to shut down that business. So exit is for sure. Whether you like it or not, what are different types of exit? You exit by nature. That means a death might happen. You might fall sick. You have to exit what you're doing. And exit by choice is what I'm talking about here, where you plan your exit. And that's what is also wealth creation, isn't it, Vijay? You plan things. You don't go through this reaction route. Let us see what happens. No, you actually plan it today that how am I going to exit from my problems? What is my plan of action today to exit? You may have a business or not have a business as well, but still, even if you're an employee, you're already always also a company. You must exit from your job. You must have financial independence. That these are the exit plans that we are very focused about. As I said, the 10 Crore Club is very much goal oriented, outcome oriented. So we want you to think about that exit every time because exit death can give us a lot of clarity, the truth in the present moment, which no other tool can give us.
All right. Now, almost we have come to the end of the podcast. And what I want to ask you is if you have to give one wisdom to people, I'm sure that we have already discussed so much and we have given a lot of insight for new founders and people who are thinking of starting. Because remember, 10 Crore Club is not only about people who are entrepreneurs, it is also for the budding entrepreneurs or people who are thinking business, and also people who are at a mid and senior level management. We help them design their finances, and of course we help them assess their idea if they have. So, what is that one thing which you would want these founders and people to remember who are watching our podcast or listening to our podcast?
So we must remember that we always have it's similar to how we drive a car. There is a first gear, second gear, third gear, and many times in our lives we don't even touch the fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear. There might be a seventh gear as well. And you don't need an external validation. You don't need someone else to tell you. You must really exhaust all your energies right now. You must give everything that you got in the present moment. Give every damn thing because you may not have it tomorrow. You may not have it tomorrow. If you know that for a fact, would you not give every damn thing right now? That's what I would do. Giving 100%. The 10x is all about that. Giving everything that we have in this moment because this moment may not happen. Tomorrow may not exist. I know I'm talking like some kind of a kal ho na ho kind of a thing, but the real truth is that we are not giving our best. And I feel that because sometimes I used to tell myself that, oh, all of us have had sad pasts, isn't it? We have had our own sad stories to tell, but that does not matter in front of death. All of us are going to die. What matters is a legacy you leave behind. What matters is how many people are going to come to your funeral when you are dead. That is the only thing. And if you have delivered on your talent, people will definitely come and look at your success and talk about you after you're gone. That's what is the real success, is what I believe.
Wow, that's very amazing thinking. And I totally believe in that. And I know that both of us are a student of law of attraction, and we know that your inner world will create your outer world, and that inner work is nothing but that building of a character. And when we discuss about this 10 crore club, the first question which we ask them is, just think yourself as a diamond who is worth 10 crore. What is going to be the characteristic of that human being? See, it's very simple. You cannot have 10 crore in your bank account until unless you deserve it. So you can have an expectation, of course, and to deserve it, what Kashyap talked about is about giving you 100%.
And
Because
also,
ultimately,
very importantly, I forgot to mention, very important to believe in your all your five senses that it belongs to you. The 10 crore belongs to you. You already have it. It's not like, talking stupid as if, no, I'm not talking about. Even Sachin Tendulkar visualizes means he's living that future moment. And if you are able to visualize it, there is a diamond within you, which is that already somewhere in the parallel universe. So it is everyone, no matter who you are, this 10 crore belongs to each one of us. And it's all about, the whole platform is to make sure that you can realize your potential and shine at the earliest time. And we're here to make sure that we can remove all the obstacles that come your way in your way of becoming a diamond and shine.
and most important thing, somehow what you have to remember is you have made to the top of the chain of this human consciousness at this point of time, right? You could be born in any kind of a species, but you are a human being, and that's the only species which can think and which can change its past and create altogether a new future. All right. So somehow we have made to the top of the value chain. I mean, imagine you were born 30 years back, right? When there was no internet, nothing. We are sitting and we can operate a business out of the room, which was not possible earlier. So if today somebody says that there is no opportunity, I think you are completely blind. Because if you cannot build today, then when will you build? And if you will not build it, who will build it? So it is also your responsibility to change your generation. What you have to remember, when you make that 10 crore rupees, you don't change only your life. You are changing the life of your current people, and you are changing the life of generation to come. So this idea 10 crore, why it fascinated me? Because it brings lot of things along with this, which I could see when I think of joining it, collaborating with, Kashyap. He is somebody at very young age could think of something like this, and the way he is putting together, I'm telling you, anybody who is not yet part of it, probably tomorrow they will be seeking invitation, right? Because we have a limited number of memberships and we cannot serve everyone. We have our limited numbers, and this is something which is a great legacy in building. And once again, Kashyap, many congratulations of for coming up with this idea and the way you are working and taking this club to the next level. In next 5 years, I'm sure we will be at a altogether a different level.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. It was our first podcast for the Millionaire Advisory Board, and we will bring to you a lot many such amazing insights from a lot of topics we'll discuss with Vijay, and he's going to interview many other founders as well on this platform. So please make sure to subscribe to this channel wherever you're watching or listening to this from, and we look forward to seeing you in the next podcast episode.
Thank you, everyone. This is Dr. Vijay Prakash was interviewing Kashyap Karnala, and right now I am signing off.